For most birdwatchers, it isn't simply enough to see a bird. We want to know which species it is. The two primary tools that birders use to identify birds are binoculars and a field guide. The binoculars help us to see the bird better, delivering a magnified image to our eyes so we can discern unique and noticeable features. These features, which help us to make an accurate identification in the field, are called field marks. A field guide is a careful catalog of the field marks of birds. Beginning birders may rely heavily on their field guide as a resource, while experienced birders may prefer not to carry one in the field. Even so, birders of all levels use field guides on a regular basis because it's very difficult, if not impossible, to memorize all of the field marks of all of the birds we encounter. Today's birdwatcher may carry the best modern optics along with a field guide, but there are still some very basic steps that ensure more accurate bird identification. Before you head out to watch birds, familiarize yourself with your field guide. Take some time to read the introductory text, which usually provides excellent basic birdwatching advice and information. Especially helpful is the illustration showing the parts of a bird. In your birding, you will frequently encounter terminology such as wing bars, tail spots, eye line, and flanks. If you get to know these terms, your field guide will be easier to understand. For more on this subject, see the Bird Topography podcast in this series. Look through your field guide to familiarize yourself with its organization and content. Read the entry for a bird you already know to get a feel for how the guide's information is presented. Now it's time to head out and find some birds to identify. When you see an unfamiliar bird, lock your eyes and optics on it and watch it for as long as you can, quickly noting its obvious field marks. And if time allows, study the bird for more subtle clues. Resist the urge to reach for your field guide after a brief glimpse of the bird. Sometimes a brief glimpse may not offer enough clues to a bird's identity, and when you look up from the field guide, your mystery bird may be gone. Consider the size of the bird first and compare it to something you know. Many birders use the mid-sized American robin as a common comparison species. Is your bird larger or smaller than a robin? Next, you might look at the bird's color or overall shape. Sometimes these are extremely distinctive, like the bright color and odd-shaped bill of the roseate spoonbill, or the bill of the American avocet. If you see something this obvious, you're well on your way to a positive identification. At other times, the clues may be more subtle. If there's nothing obvious about your mystery bird, you'll have to look more carefully. Start at the top of the bird's head and work down and back. Most North American species can be identified by the physical features above their shoulders. The eastern kingbird shows a dark bill, dark head, and a white throat. All the way at the end of the eastern kingbird is a white tail tip on a dark tail. As you watch the bird, make a mental note of the 2 or 3 most noticeable features. Does it have a striped crown or a black mask? Is the bill large and conical for seed eating, or slender and long for insect cleaning? Are the wings plain, or do they feature wing bars? Not all ID clues will be parts of the bird. Bird behavior and sounds also offer excellent hints to a bird's identity. For example, a rather plain-looking round gray bird bobbing up and down on a rock in the middle of a rushing mountain stream could be an American dipper. A woodpecker drilling small holes in a line is one of our sapsucker species, in this case a young female yellow-bellied sapsucker. That humming sound coming from your garden and the tiny bird you see flitting among the flowers may be your first clues to the presence of a hummingbird, like this ruby-throated hummingbird. A small bird bobbing its tail up and down might be a palm warbler stopping by on migration. Don't forget to check your field guide. There will be behavior descriptions for almost every species. All experienced birders know that not every bird can be identified with complete certainty. Some birds are too quick for our eyes, too drab or confusing in appearance, or too similar to another species for us to make a 100% certain identification. It's best to let these birds go with the hope that we'll get another chance later. It's also important to remember that everyone makes mistakes in bird identification. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Every time you get a bird identification wrong, it's an opportunity to learn more about that species and its ID clues. Don't be afraid to ask more experienced birders for advice when you're out in the field. It's a well-known fact that most birders are not only friendly, they're often eager to help a beginner. One of the special joys of birdwatching is seeing a bird and using our tools and skills to put a name on it. And not just any name, the right name.